Good afternoon. Yesterday, we got to witness the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Cleveland Browns in what I thought was a pretty good battle. We got to see what Joe Burrow was actually made out of with throwing 37 completions and actually setting a rookie record for that, as well as the Cleveland Browns proving that their run game is something scary. It's something people got to worry about, and they will continue to light it up on that field. So today, I'd like to give you guys my thoughts on that game. So, are you ready to get your fix? Well, many people were not too excited to watch this game, mainly because they thought these are some bad teams. But I was excited because these two teams are kind of interesting. Okay, on one side you got the Bengals, who drafted Joe Burrow, number one overall in the draft, and then they have AJ Green, who was he was injured all last year. He wasn't there on the team, and now he is, and he's looking to make a difference. He didn't have that great of a game last night, but he's still there. He's still a number one wide receiver, and then. This team, they can make some noise. This offense can make some noise if Joe Burrow keeps hyping them up, keeps moving them downfield, stays not pressured, and especially if their defense can get rolling. And on the other side, you got the Browns, okay, who are stacked at almost every position. They have superstars everywhere, all over the field, and can make a really, really good run if things start clicking. Well, though, that game, they got off to a pretty good start for the Bengals as they were able to move the ball down the field at a really good pace, but they did have some issues trying to capitalize on some of those drives. And like this, the first drive was solid, and it was nice to see their kicker Randy Bullock kick a 38-yard field goal after he missed the tying field goal last week against the Chargers. That would have sent him into overtime and possibly give him a chance to win that game. And then you got the Browns. Their first drive was really smooth. They made sure to establish that run game with Nick Chubb right away, as he ended up actually coming away with a touchdown that drive. So at this point, now the score is 7-3 Browns, okay? And it stayed that way until the Browns got the ball again on their second drive, and Baker Mayfield found Odell Beckham Jr. for a 43-yard touchdown pass. Now, Baker, this was a really nice throw by Baker. He was able to roll out of the pocket, fling it downfield on a dime. Odell made a really good catch. There was no place he really could have placed that ball any better, so... Now, I do think he was down at the inches. His knee was down unless the ball actually crossed the plane. I didn't think it did. The refs decided to call it a touchdown. But the ball Baker threw, really, like I said, he couldn't place it any better than he did. And on this throw, I think we could really see a glimpse of what Baker was in college with his precise passing while rolling outside the pocket. He wasn't, prone to rolling out of the pocket in college just because he had a line that could actually block. And then with the last 2 years, with not having a really good offensive line, Baker's been getting a little excited, wanting to roll out of the pocket, and it's shown that it's not good for him to do that. But good throw on that drive. So the Bengals' next drive, though, was pretty solid as they found the end zone with their tight end, C.J. Uzomah, and he caught a 23-yard touchdown pass. But, however, this morning I found out that C.J. actually tore his Achilles, and he's going to miss the rest of the season. So, and this is a pretty big hit for the Bengals. I think this guy is a decent blocker, and he can run routes efficiently. So we'll see in the following weeks what the Bengals are going to do to replace him, and if the next guy up, can actually perform well. One thing about the Browns is that they have, hands down, they have the best running back duo in the NFL, hands down, with no competition. I don't see anybody else better. You can say Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray are up there, but you got two number one starting running backs on your lineup, and they both go out there and just ball out. I think Nick Chubb had 133 yards total with with receiving and rushing, and then Kareem Hunt, I think it was like 101. So, like I said, best duo in the NFL, hands down at this point. No one's better. But before halftime, they had one drive now where they were able to utilize both Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Now, this is something a lot of people want to see. Use them both. Use one of them to get down the field. This is where they used Chubb. Chubb was able to move the ball efficiently down that field, and then Kareem Hunt finished it off with a 6-yard touchdown reception. So, like I said, these two running backs are scary good, and teams are going to have issues trying to stop them, because if one is having a bad game, then the other is right there to pick it up and continue to keep rolling the dice. And so the first half was a pretty good battle between both of these teams, as well as the second half. Okay, the second half started off with the Browns marching all the way down the field and decided to go for it on the 2-yard line But Nick Chubb, he got stuffed. He flat out got stuffed. He got 1 yard gain. And so the Bengals got the ball back. Okay, but Joe Burrow, he would end up getting sacked and fumble the ball, and the Browns would pick it up, and now they're back on the 1 yard line. So for them, they were actually able to capitalize really easy. They realized that going for it on that 4th and 2, they had to change things up. So they capitalized with Nick Chubb running another touchdown. So now I think he has 2 that game now. I think he ended up with, I think it was just 2. It might have been 3, but now the rest of that third quarter, it was filled with the Bengals, marching downfield and being unable to really capitalize again on plays that should have kept them in the ball game. But they came in with a field goal, so now it's like 28-16 Browns, looking a little sloppy. But the fourth quarter was fun to watch. Okay, this is like the Bengals stopped the Browns. Okay, and then they marched downfield to score like literally right away. This is where we can really see that Joe Burrow is going to be a problem around the league. Because like LeBron said, he has that it factor and feels no pressure. He just wants to win. He will go out there and do what it takes. If you watch the game, he's constantly looking at his players, yelling at them, telling them what to do, hustling them up, and just he's looking like a veteran in this league. He always says the right things when he gets asked questions. This guy's an overall. He just has it. It's an it factor, and a lot of people don't have it, and he does. So, however, though, I thought the Bengals defense would again let the Bengals. I thought they were going to stop them, okay, but they didn't. The Browns came back, scored, so now this close game became stretched out once again, which at this point I kind of knew, okay, the game's over. It's 35-16, or 35-16 or something like, 35-24, sorry. But, I thought it was over. The Bengals did score again, but used way too much time. They had no timeouts. They brought it to the 2-minute warning. They should have hustled up. And then they ended up scoring with, I think it was like a minute 13 or a minute 20, something like that. And then they failed an onside kick. So one takeaway from this game is that both offenses are and can be very good. They are able to move the ball downfield. But don't get me wrong, they still have a little work to do. Another takeaway is both defenses are struggling. They cannot find a way to stop the offense, and that's why the game had a combined score of 65 points. Because this, like I said, this defense simply, they just fall apart as the game goes on. And it's hard for them to come back from that once they start going downhill. So overall, this was a good game to watch, okay? And it showed us what these teams can do and what they're capable of. It also shows that they have some things to, work out those kinks. I think this year is going to be fun for both of these teams because they both are capable of doing really good things down the line. So and possibly shocking a lot of us. I could see the Bengals ended up 8-8, 9-7 if Joe Burrow really gets them going, and if they don't get any injuries. I could see the Browns making a run. They'll probably get second in their division still. I still think the Ravens will take that. The Steelers' defense, though, is looking really, really nice. So they're going to have a battle. They're flat out going to have a battle. So that is going to end our discussion today, as now we await for more football on Sunday. Like always, we got noon games, we got 3 o'clock games, and we got a 7 o'clock game. So thanks for stopping by. We'll see you Monday, and you just got your fix with the Wicks.